So I'm sitting in my English tutor's office, right? And she leans forward and asks the simplest question in the world. John, how are you feeling today?
Easy question.
That's what I thought. And what comes out of my mouth?
What?
I am feeling good.
That's not a crime.
It gets worse. She waits. She's clearly waiting for more. So I panic, and I say it again. Very good. Good. Good.
John.
I sounded like a parrot that only learned one word.
Okay, but why did you panic? You know way more English than that.
Because the truth was, I wasn't good. My flight had been canceled that morning. I'd just found out a close friend was moving to another country, and my brain was a complete mess. But when I searched for the English words to actually explain that mess, all I found was good and bad, like someone had stolen every other word from my vocabulary overnight.
So there was this huge gap between what you actually felt and what you could say.
Exactly. And she could see it. She just looked at me and said, John, feelings are not a light switch, on or off, good or bad. Try the Feelings Thermometer Method instead.
The Feelings Thermometer Method?
That name stuck with me instantly. She said most learners only know the two extremes, but real feelings live somewhere in between, and English gives you a whole range of words for that middle space, if you just learn where to look.
So what happened? Did you finally tell her the truth?
Eventually. It took me about 5 awkward minutes of pointing at the ceiling like the word might be written up there.
The ceiling doesn't usually help with vocabulary.
You'd be surprised. But that one conversation changed how I talk about feelings in English, and today, we're going to save you those 5 awkward minutes.
I love that. Because I think every single one of us has had a version of that moment someone asks how we're doing, and our brain just serves up fine on repeat.
The universal emergency word.
The universal emergency word. So today, we're talking about how to actually talk about your feelings in English without freezing, without repeating good 50 times, and without staring at the ceiling for answers.
Let's get into it.
Hey there, welcome back to Speak Unstoppable, the place where English gets easier one honest conversation at a time.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. And John, I still can't believe you stared at a ceiling for 5 minutes looking for the word overwhelmed.
In my defense, ceilings are very calming.
Well, today we're fixing that for good because we're talking about how to actually talk about your feelings in English.
Not just good and bad.
Not just fine. We're talking real, specific, natural ways to describe what's going on inside you.
And later, we've got our word tour. 6 feeling words that go way beyond the basics.
Plus, our Rewrite It segment, where we take some painfully vague feeling sentences and turn them into something clearer and more confident.
So, Maria, be honest. When someone asks how you're doing, what's the first word out of your mouth?
Every single time?
Every single time.
Honestly? Fine. Every time. Even if my day was a disaster.
Same. Fine is like a reflex. Someone says, "How are you?" and your mouth just fires fine before your brain even gets involved.
It's not even a lie exactly. It's more like a placeholder, holding the space until you're ready to say something real.
But if fine is the only word you reach for, you never get the practice of saying something real. Feelings vocabulary is one of those areas learners quietly avoid, even ones who happily learn 50 words for a city, a meal, or the weather.
But ask someone to describe their emotional state past happy, sad, angry. And suddenly, it's silence.
Because emotional words feel personal. Naming a feeling out loud makes it real.
That's exactly it. It's not really a vocabulary gap. It's a vulnerability gap wearing a vocabulary costume.
A vulnerability gap wearing a vocabulary costume. That's staying.
Don't get too attached to it.
Too late. But seriously, that's the first thing we want you to notice today. If you only know good and bad, it's not because English is hard.
It's because naming feelings honestly takes a little courage in any language.
And that courage gets easier once you actually have the words ready to grab.
Which is exactly where we're headed. But I want to add one thing. A lot of learners worry about getting the word slightly wrong.
Like using furious when they only meant annoyed?
Exactly. And because they're scared of picking the wrong intensity, they retreat back to bad, which is safe, but says almost nothing.
Safe but empty. And honestly, native speakers get feeling words slightly wrong all the time too. Nobody's grading you on precision here.
There's no perfect exact word hiding out there. There's just a range of decent options. And picking one that's roughly right beats picking none at all.
Roughly right beats perfectly silent.
So let go of the idea that you need the flawless word.
You just need a word that's honest enough to start the conversation. So let's actually explain the Feelings Thermometer Method since I've been teasing it this whole time.
Please. I've been waiting.
Imagine a thermometer, but instead of measuring temperature, it measures intensity. Low end, low intensity. High end, high intensity. In between, a whole range of words.
Give me an example.
Take happy. Low intensity is content or pleased. Middle is happy. High is thrilled or overjoyed.
So it's not just about which feeling, it's about how strong it is.
Exactly. Same with sad. Low is a bit down. Middle is sad. High is devastated or heartbroken.
So instead of just saying I'm sad, I could actually locate myself on the thermometer.
Right. Are you a little down or are you genuinely heartbroken? Those need different words, and honestly, they deserve different words.
Because saying I'm sad about losing your keys and I'm sad about losing a friendship shouldn't sound the same.
They really shouldn't, but in English, a lot of learners squeeze every version of sadness into that one word.
So the method is really just training yourself to ask two questions. What am I feeling? And how strong is it?
That's it. 2 questions. And suddenly, you've got way more precision than good or bad ever gave you.
Let's do one more so people really get the pattern. What about scared?
Low intensity. Uneasy or a bit nervous. Middle, scared. High intensity. Terrified or panicked.
I love uneasy because that's such a real, everyday feeling people usually skip over. It doesn't sound dramatic, but it's incredibly useful for that quiet, low-level discomfort.
Right, and that's actually the bigger lesson here. We reach for the big dramatic words. Terrified, furious, devastated. But most days, we're living somewhere near the middle or the low end.
Which means learning those quieter words might matter even more than the dramatic ones.
I'd agree with that completely.
Okay, but I want to push back a little.
Go for it.
What if you genuinely don't know what you're feeling? Sometimes the feeling itself is foggy, not just the word.
Fair. And that happens in your first language too, not just English. When it does, I try a different trick. Instead of naming the feeling directly, I describe what it's doing in my body.
What do you mean?
Like, my chest feels tight, or my stomach is in knots, or I have this heavy feeling in my shoulders.
Oh, that's clever. Because your body usually knows before your brain catches up.
Exactly. And once you describe the physical sensation out loud, the actual emotion word often shows up right behind it.
So it's almost a back door into the feeling.
A back door into the feeling. I like that. You don't have to walk straight through the front door and announce I am anxious. You can sneak in through my chest feels tight first.
That takes a lot of pressure off. It's not this big dramatic declaration.
No, it's just an observation. And observations are much easier to say out loud than declarations.
I think that's honestly the biggest shift in this whole episode. You don't need the perfect word immediately. You just need a starting point.
A starting point. Exactly. And the perfect word usually finds you a few sentences later.
One more example of that backdoor trick?
Sure. Say your throat feels tight and your eyes are stinging. You might not want to say I'm sad right away, so instead, there's a lump in my throat right now. Honest, true, and it doesn't require the exact label yet.
And whoever you're talking to usually just says, "Yeah, that sounds like a hard day," and suddenly you're already in the conversation.
You skipped the hardest part, finding the exact label, and went straight into being understood.
That's such a relief because we put so much pressure on ourselves to lead with the correct emotional vocabulary.
The body-first approach gets you talking faster and more honestly than waiting for the perfect word ever would. There's a myth I want to break here too. A lot of learners think talking about feelings in English means long emotional speeches, like a movie monologue in the rain.
That's not happening for most of us, in any language.
Right, and you don't need it to. Native speakers use short, simple feeling phrases constantly. I'm a bit off today. I'm not myself. I'm kind of drained.
Those are so short, though.
That's the point. You don't need a paragraph. You need one honest phrase, and the conversation naturally continues from there.
So the goal isn't eloquence, it's accuracy.
A short, accurate sentence beats a long, vague one every single time.
I think that takes so much pressure off learners who feel like they need perfect flowing English before they can talk about anything personal.
You really don't. I'm feeling a bit low today is a complete, useful, real sentence. That's the whole thing.
No extra decoration required.
None. Save the decoration for describing kitchens on social media.
Fair enough. So, short and honest beats long and polished.
Every time. And here's something else worth remembering. You don't need to explain why you feel something in the same sentence.
Meaning?
Meaning, I'm feeling a bit anxious is a complete sentence on its own. You don't have to immediately justify it with a full backstory.
Oh, that's true. I think a lot of learners feel like they need to explain the entire reason before they're allowed to name the feeling.
Right, like the feeling needs permission first. It doesn't. You can just say the feeling, and if someone wants the reason, they'll ask.
That takes so much pressure off. You don't need a perfectly structured explanation ready before you even open your mouth.
You really don't. Name it first, explain it later, or maybe not at all.
Let's talk about the actual moment. Someone asks, "How are you?" and you want to say something real. How do you start?
A simple opener. Honestly, I've been feeling a bit. And then, drop in your word. Honestly does a lot of work there. It signals this is a real answer, not the automatic one.
And then people usually lean in a little, right? Because honestly, is basically a small invitation.
Exactly. It opens the door without forcing anyone through it. You can say as much or as little as you want after that.
I also think it helps to remember you're allowed to feel more than one thing at once.
Oh, that's such a good point. I'm excited, but also a little nervous. Two feelings, same sentence, both true.
Life rarely hands you just one clean emotion.
Rarely. And English is completely fine with mixed feelings. Relieved but exhausted. Proud but overwhelmed. Just connect them with but or and.
So it's not a betrayal of the thermometer method to feel two things on it at once.
Not at all. Sometimes you're pointing at two spots on the thermometer simultaneously, and that's completely normal.
I feel weirdly better equipped to have a hard conversation now.
That's honestly the whole goal of today's episode. One more thing. Tone matters just as much as the words. You can say I'm fine in a way that clearly means the opposite, and people pick up on that instantly.
So sometimes it's less about finding a fancier word and more about saying the honest word with the right tone.
Exactly. A flat, quiet I'm fine tells a very different story than a bright, quick I'm fine. So even before you learn new vocabulary, your tone is already doing some of the communicating.
Which honestly should be encouraging. You're already partway there, even on your worst vocabulary days.
So let's bring it back to my ceiling-staring disaster from the beginning.
Please. I've been waiting for this to come back around.
If that conversation happened today, I wouldn't freeze. I'd start with the body clue. Honestly, my chest feels tight today.
And the thermometer would help you find the actual word after that.
Exactly. I'd probably land on something like overwhelmed, not just bad.
Which tells your tutor so much more than good ever did.
A world of difference. And I wouldn't even need a long speech to say it.
Just one honest, specific sentence.
That's really the whole method in one line. Notice the body, name the intensity, keep the sentence short, and let the conversation grow from there.
Notice, name, keep it short. I like that as a little checklist.
Steal it. Use it the next time someone asks how you're doing and fine tries to sneak out first.
Catch fine before it escapes.
Exactly. And honestly, the goal was never to sound like a perfect English speaker in one conversation.
It's just to get one honest sentence out instead of the automatic one.
One honest sentence, over and over, until it stops feeling scary and starts feeling normal.
I think that's the real win here. Not fluency overnight, just a small, repeatable habit.
Now let's slow down and practice today's powerful words. Words that'll help you describe exactly how you're feeling, without freezing and without staring at any ceilings. Our first word is overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed means you have so much happening, emotionally or practically, that you can't fully process it.
Maybe you've got 3 deadlines and a family event all in 1 week. You could say, honestly, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now.
Or maybe good things are piling up too fast to enjoy properly. Then you could say, it's all good news, but I feel completely overwhelmed.
I think that's such an underused word. People jump straight to stressed, but overwhelmed captures that specific feeling of too much at once, better than any other word.
Agreed. It's a very honest, very common feeling that deserves its own word instead of borrowing stressed for everything. Our next word is uneasy.
Uneasy.
Uneasy means a quiet, low-level worry. Not full panic, just a sense that something isn't quite right.
Maybe you're waiting for test results. You could say, I've felt uneasy all day, waiting for the call.
Or maybe a conversation left you with a strange feeling you can't fully explain. Then you could say, that meeting left me feeling uneasy.
This one connects perfectly to the thermometer idea from earlier. Uneasy sits right at the low end of nervousness, well below scared or terrified.
Exactly. It's the perfect low-intensity word for that quiet background worry. Our next word is drained.
Drained.
Drained means emotionally or physically empty, like something has taken all your energy.
Maybe a long, difficult conversation left you with nothing left to give. You could say, that call completely drained me.
Or maybe it's been a long week, and you just need rest. Then you could say, I'm feeling pretty drained after this week.
I use this one constantly. Honestly, it's so much more accurate than tired because tired sounds physical, and drained captures the emotional side too.
Good distinction. You can be well rested and still emotionally drained. Our next word is content.
Content.
Content means calmly satisfied, not thrilled or excited, just quietly at peace with where you are.
Maybe your life isn't perfect, but it feels steady and good enough. You could say, I'm genuinely content with how things are going.
Or maybe someone asks if you're happy, and content fits better than excited. Then you could say, I wouldn't say thrilled, more just content. Our next word is torn.
Torn.
Torn means pulled in two directions, unable to fully choose or fully feel one thing.
Maybe you're excited about a move, but sad to leave friends behind. You could say, I'm torn between excitement and sadness about this.
Or maybe two choices both feel right, and you can't pick. Then you could say, I'm torn on what to do here. Our final word is grounded.
Grounded.
Grounded means calm, stable, and connected to the present moment, even when things around you feel chaotic.
Maybe a short walk or a deep breath brings you back to yourself. You could say, that walk really helped me feel grounded again.
Or maybe one person in your life always makes you feel steady. Then you could say, talking to her always makes me feel grounded.
This feels like the perfect word to end on, honestly, because it's the goal behind almost everything we talked about today. Naming your feelings accurately is really just a way back to feeling grounded.
Well said. Those were today's powerful words. Overwhelmed, uneasy, drained, content, torn, and grounded.
Try using at least one of them this week in a real conversation about something real. So later, when you have a quiet moment, we want you to try rewriting some of your own feeling sentences using today's words. But first, let's practice together.
Let's do it. First sentence. I don't know, I'm just bad, I guess.
That's the classic freeze, the ceiling staring moment. Let's upgrade it. Honestly, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed lately with everything going on.
So much clearer, and it actually tells the listener something they can respond to. Notice it's still a short sentence, just a more specific one.
Next one. I'm fine, don't worry about it.
The universal shutdown phrase. Let's try, I'm okay, but I've felt a little uneasy since that conversation.
Still calm, but honest, and it invites more conversation instead of closing it.
Next. I can't even explain how tired I am of everything.
big, vague, exhausted sounding sentence. Let's rewrite it as, I've been feeling really drained this week, and I think I need some rest.
Specific. And it comes with a clear next step, which makes it feel less hopeless. Tired of everything sounds permanent, but drained this week sounds temporary, and temporary is a lot easier to carry.
That's such a good point. The words we choose actually shape how heavy the feeling seems.
Next sentence. I guess things are okay. Whatever.
That flat whatever hides a lot. Try, honestly, I feel pretty content with how things are going right now.
Same calm energy, but now it actually sounds like a choice, not a shrug.
Next. I don't know what I want. I'm all over the place.
Let's ground that one. I'm torn between two options, and I think that's okay for now.
Naming the torn feeling makes the confusion sound manageable instead of chaotic. It says, I see two clear options, instead of, I'm a mess right now.
Last one. Everything feels like too much right now. I can't deal.
That's a hard place to be. Let's try. Things feel heavy right now, but a short walk usually helps me feel grounded again.
That one doesn't erase the hard feeling, it just gives it somewhere to go.
And that's really the whole point of today's episode. You don't need to sound calm by pretending. You sound calm by naming things accurately and giving yourself a next step.
One more thing before we wrap this segment. Notice that none of our rewrites were dramatic. We didn't turn I'm bad into some long, poetic speech.
Right. Every single rewrite stayed short. One honest sentence, sometimes two. That's the whole target.
So if you're worried this feels like too much new vocabulary to use naturally, remember, you only need one word at a time, in one real sentence.
Notice the feeling. Name the intensity. Keep the sentence short. And you're already speaking English more confidently than fine ever let you. So let's recap today's lesson. Feelings aren't just good or bad, they live on a thermometer. And you find them by noticing your body first, naming the intensity second.
You don't need a perfect word or a long speech. One short, honest sentence is enough to start a real conversation.
Here's your challenge for this week. Next time someone asks how you're doing, skip fine and try one of today's words instead. Overwhelmed, uneasy, drained, content, torn, or grounded.
Even if it feels a little awkward the first time, that's completely normal. It felt awkward for me too, staring at that ceiling.
Tell us in the comments which word felt the most true for you this week.
And if this episode helped, hit subscribe and check out our next video for more practice like this.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. Keep noticing, keep naming,
And bye for now.